Hey everybody, this is Zubaz, and today we are going to be looking at everything that is new for Season 3 for Outlaw Troopers, and we're going to go over some of the new features, what they are, how to do them, just kind of check out everything in the game actually, and give you just a quick walkthrough of all the different parts, because I know some people have been asking questions. We're not going to cover everything in great detail, but at least give you an overview so you have a little more information and you can use that information to decide, hey, should I run this mission? Like, what are some strategies? That kind of thing. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So when you log into the game, you can just pull up the missions page. You see already we got a bunch of new stuff. We had heist, hijacking, salvaging, and hacking previous seasons. Now we have supervising, manufacturing, counterfeiting, and ARC. Just to walk you through these really quick, heist, that's where you're trying to get some credits, which are right here. Hijacking, you're trying to get some Ocurium ores, interchangeable name, same thing. Salvaging, that's where you're trying to get the virtual gears. Hacking is where you're getting access keys for running encounters. Supervising, that is where you go to assign troopers to reduce your corruption, which you see right here. If your corruption is above 0, it's going to start eating into your profits big time. Manufacturing is where you go to produce robot parts. You need robot parts if you want to try and mint new new quits, or aka robots. Counterfeiting. This is also new. This is where if you want to um, try to make virtual mechas, and you will use those virtual mechas to send out to different planets, and the planets mine life force. I know that was already a bit of a lengthy explanation. We'll cover that in more detail in just a little bit. And then ARC. Keep that simple. Basically, if you run ARC missions, you get ARC initiators, and those let you start quests, which will have pretty good rewards on most of them. But just quick note, base penalty on running ARC missions, very expensive on the corruption front. Yeah, 250, that's spendy. If you look right here on credits, it's +5, right? Huge difference there. So that's just a really quick overview of the missions. I am going to jump onto the overview tab here of Empire Management. If we look at this, I haven't even grabbed any traits yet, and I'm actually going to save that for the next video. But right here is where you can pay either FGL or credits to reroll and get Empire traits. Empire traits definitely can have a huge boost on how your Empire is performing. Just be aware that you can also get negative traits, and it's a little bit of a gamble coming in here, but you definitely want to try to get some good traits going. Arc. So I have not started any Arc missions, and even if I had, I probably would not have won or acquired any Arc initiators yet because it is time consuming. Um, but just know that this is where your Arc inventory would show up if you have acquired any. Planet tab. This is where you go to mine life force. Manage your planet. Now, if you own one, you would be able to click that, and you will have a bunch of additional ways to basically improve your planet, and then also to streamline slash improve your empire. But that will be added in season 4. Basically, the main point of Life Force season 3 is you will need it if you would like to mint a planet. Planets are going to be really expensive. Um, I think it's 100k life force and 20k FGL if you'd like to mint one, but they will be quite powerful. So I would just point out, if you do not have any Mecha World NFTs and you don't have a decent trooper empire, it's going to be pretty tough to chase a planet. But you can still mine some life force and sell it on the black market in the game. Definitely an option. So I wouldn't just completely discount it. There's definitely ways to play here, no matter how big or small your empire is. If you go to mine life force, now I don't have any virtual mechas yet, but you kind of just get a quick view of what this looks like. It's like Crypto Zoo's out here going. Right here, it will show you your credit balance and how much it costs to deploy it and that kind of thing. If I had one, I would deploy it, but there's planet capacity, planet queue, this kind of thing. In season 3, there's only going to be one planet. It's a placeholder planet, as you can see right here, because no one actually owns one yet. In season 4, all of the planets will be owned by players, and they will have different stats depending on how upgraded or not they are. So that'll make it really interesting. And right now in this season, your mechas just take a certain amount of damage per second, and they just slowly die out. Um, in future seasons, it will be a little bit different, and there will be some actual engagements between some of the mechas and the planets, so that would be way more exciting. Once you're done with this, if you deployed one or something, you just click leave planet. You can always leave the planet. They just keep doing their thing out there. You don't need to watch them or manage them or anything like that. It's mostly just for entertainment purposes if you want to watch that. Combat related, this is kind of the big thing that most people are looking to do, right? Encounters, weeklies, if we're doing a battleground event, that kind of thing. Artifacts are going to be extremely important this season. So let's just quickly look at encounters. This is a screen you're familiar with. We have robotic encounters, normal encounters. Robotic encounters use only quit, and you need robotic access keys as well as credits to play these. And then if we just go back to encounters again, normal encounters is where you need a ship and a trooper. Also where you can add your gears and that kind of thing. Let's just select the first one, just quickly show you. So you select something else for a ship and a trooper. And now I do have a bunch of gears, but my empire level is too low to let me add most of these, but yeah, we got a couple there. So this is where you go and then confirm deployment if you want to play an encounter. Weeklies, exactly what it sounds like. This is where you go if you want to play your just the preset weekly where the gears and the ship are already selected for you, and you're just trying to win as many medals as you can to get high up on the leaderboard. You will need at least one trooper or at least one quit in order to play. Basically, that's just confirming that you have some NFT assets in the game. You don't really select that individual trooper for a weekly. Event battlegrounds. This is where if we have an event running where you would go to play. Right now, we do actually have an event running. If you go click on play now, you'll see everyone out here playing the Outlaw Troopers / Alien World event. You could still jump in. Might be a bit hard to climb up the leaderboard at this point, but worth a shot. And if we go back, let's see. Next, we're going to artifacts. So artifacts, bunch of changes from last season. So basically, the idea is the same, but the actual fine details are all different. The algorithm has been reworked as far as how much things cost and how much you earn. On the right, we have node upgrades. What that means is when you're playing an encounter, these encounter nodes will change if you upgrade some of these. So credit, aquarium, gear, robot parts, artifacts, and reputation. You can improve all of those. And then on the left, one of the big changes right here is gear score limit. This is when you're playing normal encounters with troopers and ships and gears. Everyone starts with just a gear score limit of 300, and you need to upgrade that if you want to go higher. Previously, it was locked at 2200 for the max gear score. You can go above that now, but you're going to need a decent number of artifacts. And the rest of these are for the robot encounters. Also, the quit stack bonus. Now you only start with a 5 quit stack, even if you have, say, 100 in your inventory. It's only going to stack 5 of them until you upgrade it to 10 and then 15, 20, so on. So that's the first 2 tabs. Next ones we'll breeze through pretty quick. Inventory, nothing has changed there. It's the same inventory you're used to. It just shows whatever you have for virtual items. Black market, I don't think anything has changed there. That's where you go to do like the FGL exchange, which is where you submit credits for FGL. It's where you go to buy stuff in Joe's shop or anything that someone is buying or selling, you can see. A terminal, nothing has changed here. It's where you purchase different virtual ships. It also shows your NFT ships if you have any of those from Cosmic Clash. And space stations, nothing has changed here. This is where you go to claim your daily space station earnings. Down at the end, challenges. We did challenges in the last season, um, but there are some new ones this year, and pretty much all of the levels have changed. So just make sure you check those out. Like as you can see, artifact, use 50k artifacts. I believe last season it was 10k for gold. So huge jump there. Mining life force also is a goal. And I think what was the other new one? Oh, right here, arc quests. Complete 50 arc quests. That is a lot. So if you were going to want to hit gold on that one, yeah, you're probably going to want to jump in on that pretty quick. Challenges and then poll. That's where if we are just, we're going to have a random poll for some in season change. We'll send out a poll first and you will vote on it. And leaderboard. Everyone's familiar with this. Nothing has changed. We have week 1 through 4 and season 3. If we see season 3, we'll see people have already jumped out here on the leaderboard. Um, and you can also see the prize tiers, kind of go through those, see how they change as we go up the tiers. Tier 10 is going to be a challenge to get to there, but I'd say if you're kind of guessing, I think we should get to prize tier 6 at least. From there, it's questionable on how far we go. So you can see the different prizes that will be available for that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the quick walkthrough of the different tabs. I do want to walk through missions in a bit more detail and then probably Arc and Planet in a bit more detail. So if we go back to missions, heist and hijacking are pretty standard. You send out one trooper for heist and you get credits back. You send out one trooper for hijacking, you get a curium back. The base penalty corruption it's low. Um, but then it starts to step up pretty quick. So now for salvaging and hacking, salvaging is you send out troopers to go look for gears, and hacking is you send out troopers to look for access keys and counter access keys. Both of those have 20 corruption. Um, these four are old, so I'm not going to spend, by old, I mean they were in season 2. I'm not going to spend any time on those. What the ones that are new are down here, all four of them actually. So supervising, we're going to click on this and if I just pull up it, so I would recommend using your worst ships for these because ship rarity doesn't make any difference for supervising. The only thing that matters is the rarity of your trooper. So if I select someone like Wormfoil, you'll see right here, base corruption reduction is 10. But now if we select Avalon, now we went to 25, and then if we select Lady Silksand, we now have gone to 100, and legendaries are 250. So if like right now I'm at negative 210 corruption. If I hit confirm deployment, you'll see it jumped to negative 310. So now I can send out more troopers on other missions and not have to worry about going above 0 right here. So if you go above 0, the higher you go above, the more it will reduce your income from other missions. So just to explain that another way, if you have someone out on heist and he's bringing in 100 credits per second, and all of a sudden you go above 0 for corruption, that 100 per second is going to start reducing to like 90 per second, 80 per second, the higher you go, till eventually it gets to 0. You're not bringing in anything, which is not a good place to be. Manufacturing, this used to be jobs where you would submit troopers out into the job part and they would go for robot parts. There's been a couple changes here. We don't have the different types of jobs anymore, and we actually do not use tactician and power gears now. We use grunt gears. So let me show you what that looks like. So if we select a ship and we select a trooper, and now we go to gear. So I don't have too many, but you'll see that this is a grunt gear now. Um, so it's going into the grunt gear, and robot parts are yeah, they're going to be coming in much, much slower than they previously were. I mean, if I take self-sustain off, you'll see that that's not as terrible now, but still, robot parts and getting minting quits is going to be a slower process than previous seasons, which it did kind of, we had to slow that up somehow because the quit count was just going up really fast. So I mean, I might as well just submit that for now, just so you can see it. So that's how we start mining some robot parts, and you can always click down here at the bottom and see how your troopers are doing out on their missions. This screen has had a massive facelift. Um, Lots of ways to select things now. You can filter them. You can select all, unselect all, and like let's say I select, I don't know, these three right here. Boom, we got these three guys, and I can change things right here, which is super nice, saves you a lot of time. And I can halt, restart, call back. I can change a couple of them. Yeah, this is a huge improvement on previous seasons. And you can even see like how much they are costing and what they are bringing in, all the good information right there. If we go back to missions, so these last two, counterfeiting and arc, I would say these are your highest risk, highest reward type missions. And why would I say that? One, you'll see that the corruption for counterfeiting, expensive, and for arc, very expensive. The time is also going to be really slow. However, the rewards can be extremely useful depending on what you get in arc or counterfeiting. So if we go to counterfeiting, what is this? This is when you send out troopers to try to make a virtual mecha. You need a virtual mecha if you want to deploy one on a planet to go mine life force. You need life force if you want to sell in the black market or if you want to try to mint a planet. In future seasons, life force will have more uses, but in season 3, the main goal of it is to be used to buy a planet. So if I start selecting a ship here, you will see that um, Virtual Mecha base rate here is going to take a while to bring one in. 1,129 minutes. I think that's like that sounds like about 13 hours. I think off. No, it's even more than that. So it's pretty slow. Um, just just be aware of that. And then if we go back to Arc, it's substantially slower. Yeah, you see 56:49 minutes. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I think that's around like 4.5 days maybe. Um, Base rate for Epic, by the way. So Arc missions are going to be hard to run because you need to get those Arc initiators. So looking at those on the black market, they're going to be expensive. What happens when you do an ARC quest? Basically, you get some sort of challenge, which they can vary anywhere from easy up to quite hard. And once you complete that challenge, you can win things such as uh, credits, Ocurium, artifacts, gears. I think there's some other things you can win. But usually it's a pretty sizable drop. Like, you could win, I think one of them is like 7,000 artifacts or something you can win at a time. So just know that the rewards from these are pretty good. That pretty much covers what I wanted to go over as far as new features or kind of the overview of how to play in season 3 of Outlaw Troopers. Um, Otherwise, the other things are pretty much the same. We're going to be rolling in this season for about a month. We're going to have 4 weeklies. They'll each be about a week long. Um, and how you want to play, there are a ton of ways to play this season. That's kind of up to you. I will be making a couple tutorials on different size empires and some rough suggestions on ideas of how to play. But yeah, I'd say just have fun with it and try things out. And good luck with the season. All right, thanks everybody.